when I had my wisdom teeth taken out and that doctor gave me Percocet, I remember, I love telling the story. I remember exactly where I was. I remember what time of day it was. I remember what we were about to do the very first time it hit me. Like, I took the medication, and one of the guys in the band was like, "You just taking one?" And I was like, "It was supposed to take more than one." And it's like, "Take two. Why not?" And so I took 2 Percocet, and then within 30 minutes, it was like the most spiritual experience I'd ever had up until that moment in my life. I was in a van. We were in the parking lot of the Catery at the time before it burnt down. We were getting ready to go to Houston.
Catery.
We were getting ready to go play at Fitzgerald's in Houston. Like, I remember 3:30 in the afternoon. I was like, what? My mind, I said to myself, it just didn't make sense to me why anyone would choose to feel any differently than that at any given time. Like if you could, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And so that became my life mission, like to feel like that all the time.
What's going on, world? It's your favorite podcast. Your boys from Built by the Red Stick are back in the studio. We are glad that you are tuning in with us every Friday. Make sure to do me a big favor. Go ahead and like, share, comment, and most importantly, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and smash the subscribe button. Follow us on all socials. We're at Built by the Red Stick on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. We got it all. You can follow everything we're doing because we're the fucking goats.
Check us out at builtbytheredstick.com.
You can email us.
And then you can tell us how cute we be looking on camera at builtbytheredstick@gmail.com. Wait, is that a compliment?
I don't know. I don't think so. We've got a fire episode lined up for y'all. Y'all hear the laughter in the background.
Fire.
But before we introduce him, let me ask y'all a quick favor. I need to know, leave us in the comments section. Excuse me.
As you cough, I already know what you're about to ask. Go ahead.
What am I about to ask?
Just go ahead.
I want to hear what you think.
Who's sick more, me or you? Was I right?
You were right.
As he's coughing on the mic.
All right. But anyway, without further ado, the best hype man in this goddamn country to introduce the fire guest we got, Mr. Ronnie LeDuff.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, blue-eyed, green-eyed, whatever, brown-eyed, girls and boys. Now, I really don't even understand how we made this episode happen.
Because we're the goats.
If you know this guy, you know he is probably one of the most soft-spoken, caring people in recovery. But that's not me. I'm going to hype him up. I mean, this dude has loved unconditionally. This dude has shown me how to believe in your inner self. He don't even know what he did for me when he did it because he was just doing it because that's just what he do. You can catch him drumming for the Lord. I bet his car is faster than yours. I bet his flip game better than yours. And he's just one of the greatest human beings I have ever encountered in my life. I call him friend. Y'all better call him Mr. Sam Anderson in the Built by the Red Stick building. Let's give him a round of applause.
Welcome.
Hey, what was your name again?
So, look, I thought you were, when you say y'all better call him, I thought you were going to pull the Matrix line and be like, y'all better call him Mr. Anderson.
Oh, that would have been great.
That would have been, see, bro, I ain't have enough coffee this morning.
You didn't have
All right, let's roll it back. Let's try it again.
My eyes are watering if he laughing so much.
Welcome to the studio, brother.
Welcome.
We're glad you're here,
Thank
man.
you for having me. Thank you for having me, guys.
Accepting the invite. I was scared to ask you, honestly, so I'm glad Mike was able to close the deal.
Oh, happy
I
to
didn't think
do
you had
it.
time for people like us.
What?
He's so full of shit, dude. Don't. So before we get into it, man, tell people a little bit about yourself, who you are, where you're from, all that good stuff.
So,
Look, all of our guests, this is airing, I guess, the week after, so don't hold it against him. But he's a fucking Crimson Tide fan.
yeah.
He's in Alabama. Hey, didn't y'all beat Alabama?
Oh, why you threw me in this? I was going to be quiet, but we did.
Yep.
I'm a Florida State fan. But look at us now and look at them.
Hey, we're not worried about that. I'm
It's
living
like
in the past.
Ugly
I'm living in
ex
the
that
past.
didn't have their glow up.
They didn't beat us. They skull drug us. It was
but
bad.
We lit. You welcome. We lit a fire under y'all.
I guess. I don't know. I thought after that game, I was like, all right, well,
I just knew the season was over
Oh,
and
for
we
sure.
would be where Alabama's at right
yeah,
now.
yeah. I was like, all right, Florida
We
State's
lost
for
to
real.
Stanford. Like I don't even. When does football come on again?
I'm ready for baseball season.
Y'all ready to win another ship?
Yeah.
Is it Libby Dunn still at LSU?
No, she's not. She's living her best life with Paul.
Man, that's right. That's right. Dude, his hot.
But anyway, tell the people a little bit about yourself.
So, Sam Anderson, that's me. Sober March 26, 2014.
That's a long time.
I, got blessed by God. Married, been married since 2007, so 18 years. Been married for 18 years.
Oh my God.
And my wife, his name is Kirsten. I love her very much. I love you, Kirsten.
Hey, Miss
She's
Kirsten.
beautiful. 2 beautiful children, and currently running a sanctuary recovery and wellness.
Which is a
Sanctuary.
beautiful facility. I got a chance to visit it. Mike got a chance to visit it before me. Oh, very, very beautiful facility. I like what y'all got going on there.
Thank you.
I think y'all are gonna do some good things. I mean,
Yeah,
especially
for sure.
with your hand in it. I mean, we've had the privilege of working together and knowing each other for a little while, man. And Ronnie took the words right out of my mouth. Probably one of the purest and most genuine souls I've ever met.
Thank you.
Like legitimately.
Thank you very
I'll
much.
give you your flowers for
Yeah.
that one, man. When you talk about people in this industry who truly care about their clients' outcome,
Thank you very much.
you come to my mind.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember when I came in treatment, I was just all like, ah! And then he was just very, he used to just talk and point. It's like, what is this? Is he playing with my mind? What are you doing to me right now?
You think I'm soft spoken, Ronnie? All right.
Before we get into what you're doing now, man, our platform is about overcoming adversity,
Yeah.
instilling hope by letting people know where we were and where we are now. So kind of give us a little background story into how you found yourself to where you needed a recovery date.
Oh, okay. So I was a professional drummer.
Okay.
I used to tour all over the place and play with a bunch of different bands. And really, I think I got my wisdom teeth taken out in 2010. And up until then, like, I knew there was alcoholism in my family, like, people in my direct family. But I didn't really fear it. You know what I mean? I just didn't think that was one of those things that was going to touch me.
Right.
Excuse me. And then, so I would drink and use casually, like we do, and for fun. And it really solved a lot of the problems that I had in my life, like insecurity and, fear of being seen as less than or just not being good enough.
Absolutely.
And so when I had my wisdom teeth taken out and that doctor gave me Percocet, I remember, I love telling the story. I remember exactly where I was. I remember what time of day it was. I remember what we were about to do the very first time it hit me. Like, I took the medication, and one of the guys in the band was like, "You just taking one?" And I was like, "It was supposed to take more than one." And it's like, "Take 2. Why not?" And so I took 2 Percocet, and then within 30 minutes, it was like the most spiritual experience I'd ever had up until that moment in my life. I was in a van. We were in the parking lot of the Catery at the time before it burnt down. We were getting ready to go to Houston.
Catery.
We were getting ready to go play at Fitzgerald's in Houston. Like, I remember 3:30 in the afternoon. I was like, what? My mind, I said to myself, it just didn't make sense to me why anyone would choose to feel any differently than
Yes.
that at any given time. Like if you could, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And so that became my life mission, like to feel like that all the time. And so, of course, I lied to my doctor. I was like, "Oh, the dry sockets are so terrible." And he was like, "Okay, well, more." And then I just started, like, doing the things that we do, trying to hustle doctors. And then when that stopped working, then going to the streets for that stuff. And then it evolved to this, to heroin at that point. It got really brutal. And when heroin was around, I just tried to drink myself so I wouldn't be sick. And that's really where I found myself. Went to treatment in March 26th. And then,
So are
So
you
you
a
was
one
a
and
one and done.
Oh.
one and done.
dude? This is like our
Whoa.
4th one and done.
Give us our flowers.
Yeah, we're finding the one and
We
done
finding the one and done.
to let y'all know that it can
Done.
happen.
So far. So
Fourth
far.
one.
So far,
Yeah.
4th one and done.
4th one and done.
So we had Andy, Miss Katie, Miss Jenny, and now Sam.
Nicole,
Nicole was a one and done. 5 one and done.
Layla.
Layla, 6 one and dones. Bro, that's
We're out here.
Steve. I'm just gonna start naming names. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about.
bro. Like we should have our own category of podcasts.
Called
You
the
hear
One
that?
Gun- One-
YouTube. Whoever's
Oh.
YouTubing our tube.
So, you went to treatment in 2014.
Right.
And so at that point, you're married.
Yep.
You're in the band still, or you had kind of
No, the bands had fired me.
You-
Long since
yeah.
fired me.
Kids at that point?
2 kids. Yeah.
You had kids
They were
already.
babies.
Babies.
Yeah. I remember the first one, like Kirsten was excited for, and then like my disease had evolved so much that by the time she found out she was pregnant, she was like, "Oh no!"
You robbed
She
her.
cried like not tears of joy. She was like, "I'm stuck." I was like, "You stuck? Yeah."
I told y'all, ladies, men be trapping y'all. I tell this when I tell my story. We be trapping.
All right. So you end up in treatment.
Yeah.
And so what's that experience like?
Oh man, brutal. Because I went to a methadone clinic for a year and a half. Never tested clean, by the way. Never, not once. They kicked me out so many times, dude. And I just kept begging this poor social worker to like let me back in. And she was just like fresh out of college, so she was like, "Okay, you're gonna really try." And I would just never test clean. I never got the take homes, never nothing, dude. And so whenever I went to detox, it was like 5 days, and detox was wild, dude. Can I tell you a story about
Absolutely.
detox? I love telling people this
We
story.
love stories.
So the first day I'm there, my roommate, this was kind of the detox where they lock the door. It's like the psych ward thing. My first roommate was like 78 years old, and he like tore his bed apart in the middle of the night. And so they came in and hit him with the night juice.
Ooh, that booty juice.
The next day, there was like a common room. This was at Acadian at Vermilion in Lafayette. They bring us to like this common room, and I'm sitting there, and this poor young lady, must have been in her 20s, sat next to me, and she had like bandages on her wrist where she, attempted suicide. And she goes, "Why are you here?" And I was like, "Oh, drugs." And she goes, I tried to kill myself. And I was like, "I could see that." And she goes,
We're not laughing.
she
We're
goes,
not laughing at that, y'all. We laughing.
"No,
at
that's
way
not the
he's
funny
telling
part.
story.
The funny part is the very next thing when she goes, 'Do you want to fuck?' And I was like, 'No, what?' Right here? What are you talking about? What is happening?" I called my wife that day. I was like, "Yo, how long do I have to stay here?"
I tried to kill myself. You want to fuck?
It was just like that, dude. I swear to you, one after the other. And I was just terrified. Terrified. It was awful. So, and then they put me in like the regular rehab. They brought me to St. Chris on April Fool's Day. And so I thought I might be going home. Nope, April Fool's, dummy. And I was still detoxing off of the methadone. So like
Ooh.
20
Oh, yeah, that shit ain't fun to come off of.
brutal. 23 days, the first 23 days of that 28, didn't sleep, really. Just
Ooh,
terrible. Just
Yeah.
felt terrible.
you really wanted it.
No, I did not. I didn't want to.
What
I didn't want
kept you?
to. I'm too pretty for the streets, you know.
I ain't want to say it and sound like I was hitting on you, but
No,
I concur.
I'm soft, bro.
Yeah.
I can't live on the streets.
Dude, if you ever went to jail,
My wife was like, "You ain't coming home, bro." One thing I'll say about my treatment experience is that my counselor is a guy named Aaron Domain. God rest his soul. He knew immediately what was up with me. Like he knew I was my BS, and so he called my wife and told her he's gonna say this whenever he calls you. He's gonna say this. He's gonna say this. He's gonna say this. And sure as hell, like every time I
ready
call, I'll
for
be
it.
like, I think I'm ready to come home. Like they're bringing us to AA, and I just feel like that's really all that this is. So I need to go to AA and work the steps. And she would go, he said you'd say that. Oh,
Ruined your game early.
bro, anything I try. Oh, this is a money racket. He said you'd say that. Like, oh, I'm so bored. I'm not getting anything. He said you'd say that. I'd be like, don't call me again. Right? It was just like that. And so like everything I tried, it was like no. And so that's why I sat down for a little while. I didn't want to be sober till I was like 90 days sober. I had to be 3 months in, and because again, I couldn't. The thing about us is like it's not that we're bad people. It's just that there's a part of us that breaks.
Absolutely.
And so it's hard. It's really hard for us to differentiate between what's good for us and what we want
Yeah.
in the beginning. And I knew I wanted to be able to do whatever I wanted to do. I really genuinely thought that I would go to rehab for 28 days, get off it for a little while, get everybody off my back, and then use heroin like a gentleman, like with a top hat and a cane. You know,
Top of the day.
that's what I thought. You know, like put me in like a vestie. You know what I'm saying?
A little monocle.
Yeah, like the Monopoly guy.
I was just gonna say like
just
the little
banging
Monopoly
heroin.
man.
You know, that's what I thought. Like Park Place, please, and then like the door, like right after it. That's what I genuinely thought it was going to be. And no, they just like sit down. And I remember I tried. My last like shot at getting out of rehab was because they have the 28-day St. Christophe here in Baton Rouge. They have a 28-day facility they call primary, and then they have like their long-term care.
Right.
And I knew they were going to recommend me for long-term, and so I came up with a plan. And so it breaks down to like primary, they call it extended care, and then they call like the recovery home portion, which is like just stay till you're done.
Yeah.
And I knew they were going to at least say extended care, which is another 60 days. So I was like, all right, so if she says she wants me to do extended care, what I'm going to say to her is, well, I might as well do the whole program because, you know, I'm here for 3 months. What's another 6 months or whatever? I'm thinking she's like, no. She's going to be like, no, we have two.
I want you to come home and help me.
I have 2 children, right? Like she's working. I need you to go to work. I need you to, you know, make money like I was before. And so she comes over for visitation, and you know, we're sitting down. The kids are like, my 2-year-old at the time, Torin, who's running around, and I go, so they talked to you about extended care? And she goes, yeah, they did. And I said, what do you think? And she goes, I think we should do whatever they say. And I said, all right. Well, if we're going to do extended care, we might as well just do the whole thing, you know, just get what we can out of it. She goes, yeah, sounds like a good idea. I'm like, shit. So I talked myself into long-term care, and I stayed in treatment for 8.5 months.
8.5.
That's a lot of treatment.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of treatment.
I loved it. By the end of it, dude, it was weird. I didn't want to go.
So what portion of that was outpatient?
None of it. All inpatient.
Inpatient.
Yeah.
That's a lot of treatment.
Yeah. Towards the end of it, like it drops.
lightens up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Their extended care program allows for.
But you still living in the facility.
Well,
Not
Is
really.
it kind of like a PHP thing where you
no.
traveling back and forth?
So to give you an idea, like half of Caddo Street in Mid City is their long-term program.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
And
I knew that.
Yeah.
I knew that. Never mind.
And so you like live in a house, you get a job after 90 days, and you still come back. You still have to participate in like all the different stuff. It's just that you can work, and then you do steps or step packets, and then that's how your progress is. And then you have to do something called the BBSG. Everybody should do the BBSG.
I was thinking Dr. Miami, but you talking about treatment.
No, not BBLs. BBSG is called the Big Book Study Guide by the Primary Purpose Group in Houston, Texas.
That was what I.
It's a question for every sentence in the Big Book, including the forewords to all 4 editions, the preamble, the doctor's opinion, all through Bill's story, all through the first 164, and then Dr. Bob's nightmare, and then the 12 traditions at the end, long form. One question for every sentence.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just yes or no,
Yeah.
and then sometimes it's like a real answer. It took me months to finish it.
Yeah.
So
Goodness gracious.
8.5 months in treatment, and you come out. Obviously, while you're in treatment, you and your wife are working on things and everything.
Oh yeah.
So where was the transition from I'm an alcoholic, I'm seeking so we know like by the end of it you're wanting recovery and everything. But where's the transition from I'm an alcoholic in recovery to I want to work in this field?
And while I was in treatment.
Okay.
I knew that. I think like I said, day 90, like literally day 90, I knew I wanted to be sober. And I had always been interested in like mental health stuff. I knew once I decided I wanted to be sober, I was like, well, I'm not going to be a professional musician anymore. That's just not the lifestyle that's going to work. And so I thought, there were a lot of techs there that I really looked up to. A guy named Travis Weisbrod, who's still there now, and he does a lot of their wellness stuff. And I think he runs or is one of the partners over at their women's house, facility called Magnolia Springs. Wonderful human being. Really looked up to him, and I was like, oh man, I could do this. I want to do that. And so I got me a little cafe job until they require you to be 1 year sober before you can be a tech.
Dang.
So I waited. March 26, 2015, I was like, give me my polo shirt. I am ready. And I subsequently got myself fired like 4 months later.
From St. Chris?
Yeah.
Oh, do tell. Well,
I'll
we
tell
can go
you.
there.
I can
Yeah,
tell you
do
that.
tell.
I broke my fibula. So the outside bone on your leg, I broke my left foot or my left leg. I broke it at a trampoline park, Area 51, back in the day. I was chasing my son and I rolled it.
Oh my God.
Rolled my ankle in and it popped my fibula clean. Bow. Swole up like a softball. And of course, I'm sober, right? And so I try really hard not to scream a cuss word in this place because there's kids everywhere and nobody comes to help me. It's like an army crawl off of this little trampoline and this poor little girl in a referee jersey with a whistle looks down at me. She goes, "Are you okay?" And I looked up at her and I said, "No." And she goes, "You want some ice?" And I said, "That would be great." And she walked off and she never came back, dude. She just left me there. So I had to hobble over to my wife. I was like, "Help." And anyways, I had no, I'm sober. I'm serious about being sober. And I got my fibula broken. So you can't take no pain meds, right? So it's Tylenol and ibuprofen. I go back to work on crutches eventually. And there's this kid. And I hadn't really learned how to. So in the big book, right? 10-step work is meant to, there's this thing that says that, our next thing is to grow in understanding and effectiveness. And I always thought that was like with the world. I didn't really internalize its relationship to the St. Francis prayer, so to understand you as opposed to being understood or understanding the situation, right? Or to be effective with you no matter what that looks like. And so this young man and I, we were having a disagreement about what movie the client should go watch. Silly. And he was obviously in a bad place. He's in the primary care facility. He's not fully there. And so he got mouthy with me and called me a homophobic slur. And, whatever, right? He's in a bad place. I should know better. I'm an adult. I'm 35 at the time or 34 or something like that. And so I kind of tapped my crutches on the ground. And I was like, "Don't ever talk to me like that again." Like some kind of I'm going to threaten you with one leg. And I hobbled away as fast as I could, get away from this guy. And they let me go for that. And then they hired me back 3 weeks later.
Nice. And so, how's your transition work? So from a tech, when did your desire to kind of work clinically come into play, or that was always the goal?
I think I wasn't sure in the beginning. A lot of my desire to do clinical work came A, from my mom, and B, from one person who I really still hold in the highest regard.
Thanks for talking about me like that.
Well, I hadn't met you yet, Mike. This incredible woman named Brandy Klingman.
Yeah.
Oh, I think everybody know Brandy.
Brandy Klingman is, without a doubt, one of, if not the most brilliant person I've ever known. I've watched her do things clinically in 40 minutes that I tried for weeks to get done. And with the most I've seen her work with resistance. I've seen her just soften people really quickly, or deal with objectification or sexism or just any type of thing you could think of. She's got it all, bro. She is just this genius when it comes to clinical work. And she's got a heart for us. She's not one of us, but not to tell her story, but she's just got a heart for us,
right.
And I think that's a beautiful thing too.
Yeah.
So she really encouraged me or supported me through that, even when I was a mess, even I was really, really terrible at it. Nobody's really great at it in the beginning.
No, we're not.
You said we.
That imposter syndrome hits you hard,
I'm
dude.
messing with you, bro. I'm messing with you.
I mean, I was pretty great. No,
I'm messing with you.
Yeah.
No, I mean, a lot, I can't remember. I think it was Peter from Victory was talking about it. He was talking about how when he came up, and he worked at St. Chris.
Yes.
Yeah. When he came up, CITs weren't just thrown to the fire like they are today.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of molding and
Yep.
and a lot of intense work with licensed clinicians to get to a point where they felt comfortable. And I think a lot of, I say us because, I was guilty of it too. When you kind of get thrown into the fire of working with patients or clients, the imposter syndrome. So you're trying to like project, and then B, you're not really doing therapy. You're recovery coaching,
Yeah.
quote unquote, right?
Yeah.
It's like you're just trying to use your experience
For sure.
at that point versus actual clinical work.
Yeah.
And so I think it's important that that has its place, of course, I believe. But I also think like being able to evolve and being able to grow and understand, like you said in the 10-step, right? Like becoming efficient and at recovery work, while also like becoming efficient and growing your understanding, which is one of the things that I feel like me and you talk about all the time. Over the last couple of years is where I've been. Is that like actual like, okay, this recovery work has it's good information to present, but there's also some clinical stuff that I need to learn and be able to apply.
Yeah. But again, it's the opposite is true too. Like I can give a neuroscience lecture and it'll sound great,
But they don't know what the hell you're talking
or
about.
it won't matter.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like now you know what am I supposed to take out of this? Well, it means you're fucked. That's what it means. Like, sorry.
Absolutely. There's a huge balance in both of them.
Yeah.
In both of them. Okay, so you go through your career at St. Chris, and then you come, and that's where you meet me and Ronnie. You come to the Grove.
Yeah.
Kind of what's your story from Grove to where you're at now?
So the Grove to while I was at the Grove, when we worked together, we moved to what is it? Dijon Drive.
Yep.
And then I think my biggest passion is I like to build stuff. I love clinical work, but I really like designing frameworks or like syllabus or programmatic structure. I think it's the musician in me. I like to create, and so like one of the things that I wanted to do, which when we worked together, was that family program design, and then at Lake. I moved over to Lake Wellness right around the corner from them, and Lake had just started their they were trying to design an IOP syllabus for the 19th JDC drug court contract that they had, and so I got to be a part of that. That was a lot of fun, and then did that, and then back to the Grove when they moved to Sorrento. And that was an interesting experience. I was like, man, that campus is strange.
Beautiful.
I didn't know you went back to the Grove after you left
I
Dijon.
went over there. I did some counseling. I did supervision over there. I got my CCS while I was there.
Okay.
And then came back to Lake because I really, really I like the flexibility. Really helped me a lot.
Yeah.
And I was always like, again, it's always been in my heart to design something. My original vision was like, I'm gonna put together this like $6 million facility one day. There's gonna be equine therapy and a pond where you could fish in and like la 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 la. And so I was really spending time trying to do that, like putting together business proposals and stuff like that. And then we got the news that Lake their lease was up in the building that they were in, and I of course I said my next question was, okay, where are we going? And they were like, nowhere. We're going nowhere, buddy. We're going to shut this one down. And I immediately had like peace on my heart about it. I was like, okay, well, I guess this is what I'm doing. And so, signed the lease, and here we are.
Man, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, I always find it cool to like talk about, and me and Ronnie talk about it all the time with, as let's see, 2014, so almost 12 years sober. There's been a lot of ups and downs and changes in your life through that process.
Sure.
Has there been some times of like self-doubt and like, maybe some mental health stuff that has crept into your life? And B, if so, how did you handle that? And what are some of the things that you did that kind of like got you out of a funk?
It's a good question.
Oof. I can tell you that the thing that I guess leaps out in my mind was in 2018. So I've been doing clinical work for 2 years, a little over like 2 years and a couple of months, and I was really suffering like a lot. Like I really thrown myself into the work, but wasn't. I didn't have a good clinical grasp. My boundaries were strange at the time, and I was really trying to like enhance that best I could. But um, I was just experiencing a lot of fear at work, and so I was doing the night step with my sponsor at the time for the fourth time, and he was like, we were on my wife. We were going through my eighth step list, and my wife, we'd already done all the big stuff at this point, so it's very nitpicky, And he goes, what are you not doing that she's asking you to do? And I said to him, well, I mean, I try to help around the house. I'm trying to like be attentive and all that stuff. He's like, there's got to be something. And I was like, she keeps asking me to go to church. She wants me to go to church with her and the kids, and I don't really want to do that. And he was like, why? And I was like, 'cause I don't want to. I came up with the I don't want to put God in a box kind of thing. Like, I believe in God. It's my higher power conception. And he goes, so you're going to church? And I said, no, Bernardo, you're not listening to me. Like, I don't want to like limit, like I'm trying to rationalize why I'm not going to do this thing for her. And he's like, Bernardo was just like, so you're going to church? And I was like, okay, I'm going to church, I guess. So I go to church, and it'd been so long since I've been to church. So I don't know do you guys know what an altar call is?
Yeah.
I have no idea what an altar call is.
I grew up in church.
I had no idea. So, but I'm trying to tell the truth. At this point, I'm trying to be honest, live an honest life, try to embody our principles. So we get to that altar call, and it's about fear. Like the whole thing was about fear at work. And I was just like, man, this guy's talking my language. Okay, I like it. And so he goes, hey, if you're experiencing fear at work, can you raise your hand so I can pray for you? And I was like, well, yeah, it's me. And my wife was like looking at me. She goes, what are you doing? And I was like, he said to raise your hand. I don't know. I don't know. Is there a problem? Is this a problem? Am I going to get shot? Like, what's happening? Are they kicking me out? Like, and then they was like, you get your hand raised, you stand up so we can see you. And I'm like, well, stand up. And now she's like looking up at me like this. And I was like, he said to stand. Why are you treating me weird? Like, and then he's like, if you stand and just take a step out and blah, 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 and come out to the altar or whatever. So I come down to the altar, and I kind of make my way through all the people that are praying and hugging and crying. And I'm just like, hands are on the stage. I'm looking at the drum set on this stage, and the pastor is got him, Mike Heyman at Healing Place Church. He's like praying, he's moving around and all this stuff. And he sees me, and I was like, uh-oh. And he like came down, he started praying with me. And this Mike Heyman is like he's built like a linebacker, dog. He's like 6'3", 235, 240. Like he calls himself, they call him the Bishop of Biceps. It's a very emasculating to get hugged by this dude, right? And he's like, wow, he just pulled me in. And I just started weeping into his shirt, and because he's just calling me out. Like, he doesn't know my name, and he's calling me out. And I get done, and like it all comes apart, like it all gets done or whatever, and I kind of wander my way back up to like the nosebleeds in this church. And my wife is looking at me. She goes, "Are you okay?" And I said, I think I'm a Christian now. Turns out it's true. I'm a Christian.
Bro, that is one of the most amazing stories, bro, we had on here, bro.
It's crazy.
That was good.
Because the only thing like I can think of, like while you were saying that story and talking about what can only be described as a spiritual experience coming
For sure.
over you.
Oh yeah.
The only thing that was playing through my mind while you were telling that story is your first negative, or could be considered positive or whatever, transitional spiritual experience in the Catery parking lot taken to.
Oh yeah.
And it's like,
Ooh,
everybody should be feeling this way, and then
So everybody should be feeling
this way.
Hey, man, you getting good at this, man. Hey, bro, I see you. I see you. I see you, mate.
You know? Yeah.
I see you,
We're out here
baby.
doing shit.
We going places.
Yes,
I'm
Lord.
riding the coattail. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
Those are good. Those are
that was
definitely transitional snaps.
That was good. But that was a good story. I
That
needed
was
that.
good.
I needed that.
And so,
I needed that.
You know, obviously a man of faith and a man of spirituality, a man of recovery, you know, building, I relate well to you when you talk about building. Like that's
Yeah.
that's what I enjoy doing is like building
I
something.
watched you do it. Yeah.
And so what is, of course, we know we're privy to it. But what's next for Sam, right? Like as personally, professionally,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, what are some of the things that you have as we come to this, the end of the year? I've always talked about it. Me and Ronnie have talked about it. I always like the end of the year because it's this framework, right? I operate well in framework, right? So like from January to December, right? Like as I come towards the end of the year, I get a time of reflection on what my goals for 25 were, and then I get a time of preparation for what my goals of 26 are. Like what are some of the things that you want to do moving forward?
Okay. Yeah, as far as like accomplishing goals for 25, like I didn't even know I was going to be in the position I'm in now.
Yeah.
To be perfectly honest with you, I think to end the year, I definitely want to stabilize sanctuary recovery and wellness.
Absolutely.
Like there's so much potential, and like I really thought long and hard about before doing it because that my running joke is every 35 seconds a baby's born in Baton Rouge and an IOP springs up somewhere out of some therapist's office or whatever. Like
it feels that way here
dude,
lately.
there's
too,
I mean
dude.
an unfathomable. They're lucky. Like IOP, so I'm looking at the licensing process, and you need an FNR if you're like a residential or whatever.
Yep.
But not for IOP, and you're dang sure lucky because like a needs like thing, like
They're not.
like, no, no, not necessary.
Well, the
nothing.
crazy thing is,
Bruh.
There's so many, dog.
I understand there's so many,
He trying not to ruffle feathers.
Yeah,
but the crazy thing is there still is a need
yeah, for sure.
because there's not so many good ones.
Yeah. All right. So, all right. We're going to go down that road. Okay. So
I know him.
the idea with sanctuary. All right. In my brain was, and I remember we talked about this before. Do you mind if I reiterate it? So seeing like being an IOP clinically, you watch all these people try either like come in based off a recommendation or a real desire.
Yeah.
And if their recommendations also coincide with sober living, then, generally as a counselor, you think that's for the best. But the problem for a lot of people is the money aspect of it all, right? You come behind the 8 ball most of the time. That's when you're starting. And the example I gave Mike when we talked before was, so like Ronnie, if you come into me as a client, and you've got your sober living, right? Well, you owe your sober living $250 when you move in. Yep. Generally, not everybody.
Right. I get what you're saying.
And if you just got out of a 28-day, like you may not have it. And if you don't have family that's going to pony it up, then okay, you're in debt. No problem, right? You have 2 weeks to find a job. Well, if you don't have find a job by the end of that week, so now you owe me $4, and then the next week you owe me $550, and the next week you owe me $7. Right. And the example I gave Mike was if you're very, very lucky, you get hired the very first day you go look. And pay periods are 2 weeks long with a week after before you get paid. And generally low scale jobs, like the jobs that'll hire you fast, you get paid 8, 9, maybe 10 an hour. So your paycheck's what?
300 every 2 weeks if that happens.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So you're always behind the 8 ball. So
Yep.
I've seen it happen over and over and over again.
Yep.
Where people will just disappear because either they get kicked out because they get too far behind,
Oh, the pressure's so tough they leave.
or they just work becomes such a priority that they find the only jobs that'll pay like an unskilled laborer really, really well are the jobs that like eat your day.
Absolutely.
Or you have to travel for,
No
or like
room
a
for
plant
treatment
or
or
something like that.
recovery.
Yeah, there's no way to do it, and it's to no fault of their own.
Absolutely.
Right? They got to live.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, recovery goes to the wayside. Now recovery is like just hopefully stay busy all the time and don't get overwhelmed, and hopefully nobody offers me meth at the plant or something like that.
Yep.
And it's just like that white knuckling thing that Mike was talking about before. So my plan, and again, our goal for Sanctuary is to take away that altogether. Like lose the profit motive when it comes to like somebody being able to live altogether, and just help them focus on just the outpatient treatment. And so my hope is for by the end of the year that we've stabilized. We've got our routine because we've got a house and it's full already.
I heard.
It took a week. It took a week. Thank you, Sheetal.
She wants 2 more too, by the way.
I know.
I got you, my girl. I told him I was gonna talk to him for you.
Look, bro, I sleep like 3 hours a night. Leave me alone. Let me sleep.
I get it.
And so the 2026, the goal is to have at least 3, if not more.
Right.
And to be operating with a census of at least 60. That's what we want. And that way, because I want to be able to help as many people as I can. That's always a big thing for me. B, I want people to understand, like, I want people like us who are coming in to know what it feels like to have somebody treat you with, like, dignity and unconditional kindness.
Absolutely.
And to know that, like, because I tell them all the time, like, the cost of this isn't anything more than your ability to comply with some very basic requests.
Yeah.
And then if we can do that, like, I can work with everything else. But I really also want to build up people in the workforce too. Like, that's
Absolutely.
a big deal for me.
It's crazy. You know, I've talked to Ronnie about this. Like, one of my favorite, and when you talk about building up the workforce and stuff, like, one of my favorite things in growing and working in the recovery field had transitioned from, like, helping clients, and that's still the primary focus, of course, but then to, like, watch the clients that you've helped create a life.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? Like,
yes.
employ them, like, either if it's me, employ them, or find them good opportunities to
Yeah.
employ, or build them up within, like, you know, watching, you know, me and Ronnie have talked about it, so he won't mind sharing it, but, like, watching Ronnie go from, you know, broken comedian, class clown who just wanted to make everything laugh so he didn't have to look at himself,
Yep.
to a house leader, to a tech supervisor, to admissions, to marketing, to the role he is now, where, you know, I'll say it, I feel he's one of the best marketers and business development people in the state of
Let's
Louisiana.
go. Let's go.
And so, like, to watch those things, and there's plenty of other stories that I've seen of people like that. Like, that's powerful.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
like, I've said it before, like, one of my gripes with, you know, sometimes, you know, some of the thoughts in recovery is that, like, this pursuit of more has gotten a bad rap.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, oh, it's selfish to want to pursue more, when in reality, like, it's selfless to pursue more, guided in the principles of, like, honesty, integrity, humility, and all of those things, right?
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing, right? If I'm working at McDonald's, it's not a bad thing to want to become a shift leader and then a store
Yeah.
manager or whatever. Or if I'm working in the recovery field, it's not a bad thing that I'm as a tech and then I want more. Or if I'm working in a plant, whatever field you're working in, you know, the hunger and the desire to build yourself and to evolve and to grow as a human is not a bad thing.
No. And it shows people what's possible.
Absolutely.
You know, like, I think I always try to explain to people all the time. We get people in there, and I know you can relate to this too. Like, people are like, "Oh man, Mike, you're such a good person. Wow, like, you just look at how successful and great you are." And and people said to me, like, "I can't imagine you being on drugs." And I'm like, "Bro, I was evil,
Yeah.
dude.
Bad.
Dude, you have no idea how evil I was. I
Absolutely.
wasn't a bad person. I was evil."
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, please believe me. Like, it's possible to get to where you want to go, and, like, guided in principles, of course. Like, I don't think anything's possible without, you know, my higher power,
Absolutely.
you know, affording me these opportunities. But I think it's cool also to succeed in the process of being able to show people what they can do too.
No, I was just going to reiterate on the HIOP part of the program. You know, I just wanted to say this out loud. This is going to be perfect for the sober livers, right?
Yeah.
It's not going to hurt sober livings. He is actually making the clients stable and more financially literate and more financially stable for the program.
Yeah.
It's no competition. Like, I hate the competition talk, and I might be throwing shots. I'm not throwing shots.
That's okay.
But I'm just putting it out there in the air. Like, this is like one of the most greatest parts of the recovery that was left out. And I always said, like, it was a perfect storm when I got sober. Like, not everybody have a Michael, or or the type of situation I was in. So the fact that this is that's gonna help people tremendously. It's like, hey, I can get this.
Yeah.
I could be employed, and then when I transition to the next phase, I already have money, and I'm already stable enough in my recovery, and I'm confident in who I am. I want to be sober, and like I can succeed to the next level. So I love that. When I heard it, I instantly got excited. I was like, bro, this is dope.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
throw
dope.
shots if you want me to.
No. I don't want to. Because I'm not into that. But I just wanted to put that out in the air because a lot of people watch, and I needed them to know that like this is actually going to coincide with sober living. It's not going to be a competition of sober living.
Well, and at the end of the day, though, playing tough competition is what breeds quality, right? Like a good, I'll use a football analogy, right? Like a good offense at practice makes a defense better.
Yeah.
And, like people talk about it, I've heard, pro football players, who come from the SEC because, we're in the South. So that SEC,
Let's
maybe.
go.
Have talked about that they were prepared more for the NFL because they're going against players that are going to be in the NFL, right?
Right.
Like this competition and this, and once again, it's important to understand that these things that we're building in life that create, change or competition, as long as they're built within principles of honesty, integrity, hope, service, faith, courage, perseverance, all of these, like there's nothing wrong with that. Like it'll challenge other places to do the same and to build the same. And at the end of the day, me and you, I think it was like probably like one of the first episodes ever. Like I'm talking about even before the pre-launch, like to create a unity, ability to work together as a community. Because at the end of the day, everybody in this industry and everybody in this realm wants the same thing, right? Like it might be, some people might get blinded by calamity and all of the worldly things. But at the end of the day, like the desire is to help people create a better life.
Some people lose sight of that, though.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And that competition you talking about, that's healthy competition.
Absolutely.
I'm talking about the competition where, hey, you're not going here because I want more people in my facility than them.
Yeah.
Not because I offer better treatment. That's the type of competition that I turn my nose up to.
I plead the fifth.
That's what I'm saying. I ain't want to like say
I know.
but you know what I mean? Like, because at the end of the clients lose.
Absolutely.
When it's like that. And I'm here, and I ain't gonna say clients, whoever, you're not a client or whatever, whoever. Those are the people that lose.
Absolutely.
When people like us are in competition with each other. So I support Sanctuary. You got my 100% support. Not because you're the most handsome guy in recovery, but because I believe in the work that you're doing.
Thank you.
So, before we wrap up, I always like to, there's two things that I like to do before we wrap up. Part A, as a smart individual who is caring and goal-driven and success, what's your why?
Oh, my why? Well, Jesus Christ is my why for most things.
Amen.
But
Amen.
on a personal level, like I think I want. I just think we deserve a shot, like us as a whole, like a community, and I love us as a whole. Like I watched too many people die.
Yeah.
For either they either weren't ready or because the system lets them down somehow.
Absolutely.
And that's my why. I just want to be a part of the solution, I suppose.
Hell yeah. And then secondly, if somebody is watching and going through a hard time and needs words of inspiration, what would you tell them right now?
Oof. What would I tell them? If somebody needs inspiration right now, I was evil. It can't be done. I don't know, man. I think I would say something to the effect of, when it comes to getting sober, like you don't have to rely on you. You should never have to rely on you.
Yeah.
In the beginning, and
Powerful.
I think there are people out there that are willing to love you through it, while you can't love yourself. And they're out there. And the hardest part in the beginning is just making yourself available to do it.
Yeah.
And so just, yeah, man, lean on me.
Hell yeah.
And now y'all wonder why I'm 6 years sober. These are the type of people I had my first day in recovery, and my sponsor. So I was blessed.
Well, we appreciate it.
Absolutely.
How can people find you, the Sanctuary?
Sanctuary is www.sanctuaryrecoveryla.com. The admissions line is 225-256-0952. I don't have social media, me personally, so don't look for me, please. But I mean, we do have Facebook and stuff like that for Sanctuary. It's just not really doing anything with it yet.
Fair enough.
We get
there. We'll get there. Well,
we get it.
Unfortunately, we've come to Ronnie's least favorite time.
I hate it. We got to wrap it up.
That's all right.
Which I know nothing about.
That's why you got 6 kids. You
can laugh. It's okay. You don't have to be. Awkward.
That's a prolific baby maker over there.
Hey, man, I got to be good at something.
Fruitful, my friend.
So, as always, we thank y'all so much for tuning in and week out. We love the support. We love the continued support, and we love all our future supporters. Again, as always, we want you to like the video, share the video, comment on the video, subscribe to our channel, Built by the Red Stick on YouTube, Built by the Red Stick on TikTok, Built by the Red Stick on Facebook, Built by the Red Stick on Instagram. You can go to www.builtbytheredstick.com. Check us out. We got some amazing things coming. We're going to keep announcing it. We got the Hope and Hustle Fest.
Hope and Hustle Fest.
Coming March 28, 2026. FREE, something about the word free motivates me. Make sure you get there, be in the building, and we loves the kids.
Don't meet us there, beat us
there. Bring the kids in. We're going to have face paint. We're going to have inflatables. We're going to have all kind of different art areas. We're going to have mental health resources, addiction resources. We're going to have people like Sam. He don't know it yet, but he's already volunteered to have Sanctuary as a vendor. It's going to be a great time.
Rock and roll.
And we do this every week to help y'all, us. Like my man Sam here kept saying in the episode, it's us. I am y'all, y'all are us. We love y'all. We see y'all. We want to help y'all. Allow us to love you until you can love yourself. Yes, sir.
Podcast with people like you.
Built by people just like you. Oh my God. And make sure y'all tune in next week. We got another fire episode on the way. Till then, we'll be back at the same time, at the same place, with the same producer. Built by the Red Stick, built by adversity, led by courage.
We love y'all.
Yo, different.